This will be a day long remembered. Now I am the master.
Welcome to another episode of Legends and Theories, and welcome to my video ranking the Indiana Jones 5 titular artifacts by power. And I have already ranked them by my opinion, which you can check out, which I would have uploaded about half an hour ago, but I'll also include a link in the top corner. And this one is going to be based more off just the power that we see from them and just what you could do with it, and also be considering how you could use it if it's smartly used and if it's poorly used. So let's start off with the fifth and least powerful of them. At number 5 is the Crystal Skull, and it really doesn't seem to give you any true power besides, well, essentially driving you insane or having magnetic abilities and driving away ants. That's honestly all it could really do, and doesn't really give you much power unless you return it to the alien, who is probably just gonna murder you like he did in Crystal Skull. So it seems that there's not really much use for it, and it really isn't too powerful in human hands, and doesn't really give you too many advantages. At number 4 is the Sankara Stones, and similar to the Crystal Skull, doesn't seem to give you too much power, but at least it does help boost the dark magics of Molaram and all of his cult-like abilities, and can become hot and give burns, but it doesn't seem to be too powerful, and I think Molaram was a little overachieving with his statement that it would help him conquer the world. I don't think it would have been that powerful, but still does give him a boost, and at least does have some positive aspects to also help out the land. But it seems to be it's more of an undefined power, and it seems more as like good luck for whoever has it, and doesn't really have like insane power to be using against others, but still is more powerful than the Crystal Skull. At number 3 is the Dial of Archimedes, and once again, spoilers for the newest Indiana Jones film. And the dial is powerful if you know how to use it correctly and know if it's a trick. If you go back in time with it, you may be stuck in the past for the rest of your life, but if you do know that it will bring you to this specific point in time, you can come with a lot of resources from the modern day to essentially conquer the old world and make yourself the ruler of the world. But yeah, honestly, it does have power, but you need to know that it brings you back to only a specific point in time, and that it also is going to be needing the resources to do that stuff, and you need competent military commanders and everything, and just hope that you don't mess up some things in history too much. And with just kind of the mystery around what you could truly do, and needing a really competent leader behind it, and being able to know a lot of things in advance of what it could do. I think that it is powerful, but just can't go above the next two, which have different power in different forms and Both have their advantages and weaknesses, which I'll be talking about in just a moment. And at number 2, I put the Ark of the Covenant. And in terms of destructive power, this has the most destructive power in an immediate term, but it does have the weakness of if someone figures out you just keep your eyes closed, then they can pass on to others, and that's assuming they can't escape, and you won't be able to just have your troops gun them down after you see everyone's been killed and the Ark is closed. But yeah, honestly, that is just the one thing that's keeping it a little bit from the top. The fact it does have that pretty major weakness, and really besides that, it is a really powerful weapon and is the one that really requires the least amount of skill or knowledge to use, since all you have to know is to keep your eyes closed when you open it, and then you'll be able to basically defeat any enemy as long as they don't know that you have to keep your eyes closed also. At number 1 is the Holy Grail, and this one, it is one where you have to be a little more smart about its use, but as long as, well, it's, well, you know what to do, and there isn't really any negative consequences for not immediately knowing it unless you try to cross the past the Great Seal, which you are warned about specifically. You can just go and set up a really nice base inside of this place, and technically, if you break down the back wall and drill out, you're never going to have the Ark, well, the Grail across the Great Seal, and it's kind of a loophole. Not sure if it will fully happen, but if you want to be just really smart, you can basically just set up the Temple of the Grail, which is a really large area with a bunch of stuff, and you can basically rule there and collect power until you could really do whatever you want, as long as you are set up inside of the Temple of the Grail and don't leave, and you can just have, everything brought in. So I think with that, it'll give you a lot of power in the long term, and if you use that on top of having something like the Ark, you can just really be unstoppable, and the power of not full immortality, but an extremely long life will make you really powerful, and the fact that you really won't be able to die in there until you basically wear off the effects of the Grail and start to die of old age, which may not even be possible, and maybe just be then the knight knew that someone would be coming soon and let himself naturally age. But you can't be certain about that, but still, it is interesting, and I think that all the potential power it has definitely the most, and has the least amount of weaknesses to it. But I think if the Ark didn't really have the, well, having your eyes closed weakness, and it was just basically knew what side to help, then that would be the most powerful, but that would make things way too complicated and make it way too overpowered. So I think that definitely deserves to go to the Grail, but I can't see an argument for the Ark going above it. Those are the two I think that really could be switched around, but besides that, I think everything else deserves to be where it is on this ranking. So what do you think? How would you rank it? Let me know in the comments. And until the next episode of Legends and Theories. Thank you for watching this episode of Legends and Theories. Please subscribe, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, check out the video on screen, and may the Force be with you.